Part 2. The Eloi and the World of the Future. Let us continue our gentle journey together. Find that comfortable position once more, letting your body feel supported and relaxed, sinking softly into the surface beneath you. Take another slow, deep breath in, feeling the air gently expand within you, bringing a sense of quiet calm. Peace settling softly over you. Hold softly for a moment, suspended in stillness. And now, breathe slowly out, feeling yourself softly sinking deeper into comfort, releasing any remaining tension, letting it drift away effortlessly, like a feather on a gentle breeze. Allow your breathing to flow naturally now, easy and rhythmic, as you gently drift closer to restful sleep, letting the story carry you softly onwards, into the heart of a distant age. I awoke gently, not to the familiar sounds of my London home, but to the soft, diffused light of a new day in this far-flung future. The perpetual twilight that had bathed my arrival seemed to have lifted slightly, replaced by a brighter, yet still incredibly gentle, illumination filtering through the grand, open arches of the resting chamber. It was a light without harshness, bathing everything in a soft, pearlescent glow. The air was cool and remarkably sweet, carrying the delicate fragrance of unfamiliar blossoms drifting upwards from the gardens below, a scent both refreshing and profoundly peaceful. Quietly rising from my bed of soft cushions, I felt surprisingly refreshed, the disorientation of time travel replaced by a calm, centered curiosity. The gentle beings I had met yesterday, the Eloi, were already beginning to stir. From the grand hall where we had shared fruit the previous evening, I could hear the faint, distant echo of their soft, musical voices, a sound like gentle wind chimes carried on a soft breeze. There was no urgency in their waking, just a slow, graceful return to consciousness. Moving slowly, deliberately matching the unhurried pace of this world, I made my way back towards the communal space. The architecture, revealed now in the clearer light, captivated me with its graceful decay. Intricate carvings adorned the porcelain-like walls, depicting scenes and symbols I couldn't decipher, their details worn smooth and soft by the slow passage of countless ages. Pillars, slender and elegant, soared towards high, vaulted ceilings, yet many showed fine, thread-like cracks, like delicate lines drawn carefully by the patient hand of time itself. Statues, undoubtedly magnificent in their prime, stood in quiet alcoves, figures of serene beauty, yet often missing a hand, a feature softened, or draped gently in creeping vines, suggesting a long, slow, gentle decline from a more vibrant, perhaps more complex past. It wasn't ruin. It felt more like a quiet surrender, a graceful aging. The gardens surrounding these elegant structures were a breathtaking tapestry of life, overflowing with lush greenery and flowers of incredible variety and vibrant color, hues I had never seen before, petals like silk unfurling in the soft light. Yet, they too bore the signature of this gentle, passive age. Paths, once perhaps neatly defined, were now often softened by cushions of moss or half hidden beneath carpets of fallen blossoms. Wild vines climbed gracefully over ornate stone benches and fountains that no longer flowed, blurring the lines between deliberate design and nature's quiet, persistent reclamation. The air hummed softly, with the buzz of iridescent insects, and birds with plumage like jewels flitted between branches laden with strange, sweet-smelling fruits. It was a poignant beauty, utterly serene, yet whispering softly of a world that had long ago ceased striving, content now simply to exist in tranquil abundance. Entering the great hall, I found the Eloi gathered once more. They moved with an ethereal lightness, their small, slender frames draped in simple, tunic-like garments of soft, pastel fabrics that seemed to shimmer faintly. Their faces were delicate, almost doll-like, with large, calm, curious eyes and mouths that curved easily into gentle, uncomplicated smiles. They greeted my arrival with the same quiet welcome as before, their gaze holding no suspicion, only a mild, childlike interest. Their day unfolded with an unhurried grace that was almost hypnotic to observe. They engaged in simple, gentle games, chasing colorful, fluttering butterflies that drifted in through the open arches, weaving intricate garlands from the endlessly abundant flowers, or simply sitting together in companionable silence, basking in the soft warmth. Their laughter was light and infrequent, like the tinkling of tiny bells. They ate fruits gathered seemingly without effort from the surrounding gardens, sharing them freely, their lives appearing utterly free from labor, struggle, worry, or indeed, any complex thought. Their profound simplicity was initially comforting, their gentle nature infectious. I found myself relaxing in their presence, the relentless pace and intricate anxieties of my own Victorian era feeling distant, almost unreal. I let go of the need to analyze constantly, simply observing, breathing the sweet air. Yet, as I watched them, a quiet puzzle began to form gently in the back of my mind, like ripples spreading slowly on a still pond. They seemed to possess remarkably little curiosity beyond the immediate sensory experience. They asked me no questions, showed no desire to understand my strange clothes, my different appearance, or the miracle of my arrival. They lived entirely in the gentle, sunlit present, like beautiful, happy children in an eternal afternoon garden, seemingly unaware of history, unconcerned about the future. Their beautiful robes, though simple, were always clean and finely woven. Their food was always plentiful and ripe. Yet I saw no looms, no workshops, no tools beyond the simplest implements for gathering fruit. I saw no fields being tilled, no effort expended to maintain their existence or repair their elegant, slowly decaying structures. Where did these things come from? How was this gentle, effortless life sustained in a world where even the stones seemed to be slowly surrendering to time? These questions drifted quietly through my thoughts, not with the sharp edge of anxiety, but with a calm, persistent curiosity, a gentle intellectual itch beneath the surface of this profound tranquility. Days flowed gently into one another, marked only by the subtle shifts in the soft light and the quiet rhythms of Eloi life. I spent my time exploring further afield, walking for miles through the serene landscapes of rolling hills, flower-filled valleys, and groves of ancient, feathery trees, always observing, always gently trying to understand. One afternoon, whilst walking near a broad, slowly flowing river, whose surface reflected the soft sky like polished silver, an incident occurred that unexpectedly deepened my connection to these gentle people. Several Eloi were playing near the water's edge, dipping their feet in the cool flow, splashing gently and laughing their soft, musical laughter. Suddenly one of them, A particularly small and delicate female with eyes like dark pools, slipped on the smooth, moss-covered stones and tumbled quietly into the current. The river, though appearing slow and tranquil, was surprisingly deep, and its gentle pull was enough to be troublesome for such a frail being. To my quiet astonishment, the other Eloi merely paused their play, watching with a kind of detached, passive curiosity as she struggled softly in the water, her small hands grasping weakly at the air. There was no alarm in their eyes, no shared sense of urgency, no attempt whatsoever to help. It was not unkindness, I realized with a jolt, but rather a profound lack of initiative, perhaps even a fundamental lack of understanding of peril or consequence. Their empathy seemed undeveloped, their connection to each other strangely superficial. Acting purely on the ingrained instincts of my own time, I quickly kicked off my boots, waded into the cool water, reached her small form gently, and lifted her easily back to the safety of the grassy bank. She coughed softly, water streaming from her hair, and clung to me for a moment, her large, dark eyes wide, not with fear, but with a kind of bewildered relief. The other Eloi watched us, smiling gently, as if my intervention were simply another interesting, transient part of their afternoon's diversion, before soon drifting back to their idle play. The one I had rescued, whose name I eventually learned, sounded like Weena, stayed remarkably close by my side from that moment onwards. It seemed my act had forged a unique bond in her simple mind. She developed a special, almost pet-like affection for me, following me faithfully on my exploratory walks, chattering softly in her gentle, lilting language, pointing out flowers or brightly coloured stones, though I understood little more than the comforting tone of her voice. Her constant, quiet presence became a small anchor of personal connection in this strangely beautiful, yet emotionally distant world. Weena had a touching habit of gathering the most vibrant, perfect blossoms she could find and gently tucking them into my pockets or onto the lapel of my coat as I sat observing or resting. Sometimes she would simply hold one up for me to admire, her eyes shining with innocent pleasure. These simple, tender gestures, a constant, quiet offering of beauty, became a silent language between us, a reminder of her gratitude and gentle, trusting friendship. Holding one of these delicate flowers, feeling its soft petals, breathing in its faint perfume, I felt a growing warmth, a quiet, protective bond forming between myself, the visitor from a vanished age, and this fragile child of the distant future. As my explorations widened, my calm curiosity led me to notice other peculiar features scattered across this otherwise idyllic landscape. Dotted across the gentle hillsides, often half hidden by flowering shrubs or tall grasses, were circular, well-like openings descending into palpable darkness below. They were frequently capped with small dome-like structures, crafted from a dull, greenish metal, cool to the touch, even under the soft light. Standing near these enigmatic wells, especially as the day waned, I could often feel a distinct, cool draft ascending from the depths, carrying with it a subtle, slightly unpleasant, metallic odor, quite unlike the sweet fragrances of the upper world. And sometimes, pressing my ear close to the opening, I thought I could discern a faint, rhythmic, mechanical sound, like the distant, muffled thrumming of vast machinery, laboring tirelessly deep beneath the earth. These wells, and the faint sounds and smells emanating from them felt strangely discordant, intrusions from another reality into the serene, natural world of the Eloi. They hinted strongly at something hidden, something complex, and perhaps less gentle, operating beneath the surface of this peaceful existence. This impression was subtly reinforced by another observation. The Eloi, despite their carefree daylight existence, seemed to possess a quiet, deeply ingrained fear of darkness. As the gentle twilight inevitably deepened each evening, a noticeable change would come over them. Their play would cease, their soft voices would hush, and they would begin to drift towards the perceived safety of their large communal halls. They would cluster together, casting occasional uneasy glances towards the darkening landscape, seemingly reluctant to venture out into the starlit gardens until the soft light returned once more. They never went near the wells, especially after dusk. What lay beneath the surface of this world? What was the source of the rhythmic thrumming? What unknown reality did the Eloi instinctively fear in the dark? And what possible connection could exist between these subterranean stirrings and the effortless, sunlit lives of the gentle people above? The mystery deepened gently in my mind, not as a source of rising anxiety or dread, but as an intriguing puzzle. A quiet set of interconnected questions hanging softly in the peaceful air of this future world, waiting patiently for an answer. My time machine remained where I had first landed it, nestled amongst the overgrown shrubs near the great white Sphinx statue. My silent, metallic link to my own time. My potential pathway home. Checking on it occasionally brought a faint sense of reassurance. Yet, I felt no immediate urge to depart. There was still so much to learn, so much to understand, so many gentle mysteries quietly unfolding around me, beckoning me forward with calm insistence. Tonight, as the soft violet and amber hues of the sky slowly deepened once more into a velvety, star-dusted darkness, I found a quiet place to rest on a mossy stone ledge near one of the grand, decaying buildings. From here, I could overlook the moonlit gardens, shimmering softly under the gaze of unfamiliar constellations. Weena, ever loyal and trusting, had followed me, and soon settled down quietly nearby, curling up like a small kitten. Her breathing quickly became soft and even. As she drifted easily into sleep, a few small, bright flowers still clutched gently in her hand. The stars emerged in their silent, countless multitudes, scattered like diamond dust across the immense, peaceful canvas of the night sky. They seemed brighter here, closer, in the clean air of this far future. The air grew cooler, filled only with the soft, natural sounds of the night. The gentle chirping of unseen nocturnal insects, the distant, soothing murmur of flowing water from the river, the soft rustle of leaves in the ancient, feathery trees nearby. A profound stillness settled over the world. I lay gazing up at the vast, silent canopy of stars, feeling the deep, ancient calm of this world settle over me like a soft blanket. The Eloi rested peacefully in their great halls, safe, or so they believed, from the darkness they instinctively avoided. My mind gently turned over the quiet observations of the past days, the breathtaking beauty intertwined with subtle decay, the innocent simplicity of the gentle Eloi, the unexpected warmth of Weena's companionship, and the quiet, persistent puzzle of the wells, the underground sounds, and the Eloi's fear of the night. There were mysteries here, significant ones, waiting patiently in the shadows, just beyond the edge of the soft light. Hints of another kind of existence, another branch of humanity perhaps, hidden from the sunlit world. But tonight, sheltered beneath the vast, silent wonder of the cosmos, there was only peace. A deep, quiet sense of acceptance flowed through me, washing away any lingering urgency. I felt strangely safe, resting here with the gentle Eloi sleeping nearby, aware of the unfolding secrets, but content for this moment simply to be present, to observe, to breathe. My thoughts grew softer now, quieter, drifting like the gentle night breeze through the ancient arches. The questions remained, hovering gently at the edge of awareness, but they felt distant, less important than the profound stillness and beauty of this quiet moment in time. My breathing slowed, deepened, unconsciously matching the quiet, peaceful rhythm of the sleeping world around me. Resting safely here, surrounded by the tranquil beauty and gentle mysteries of the future, I let my eyes drift closed, feeling the calm darkness envelop me like a soft embrace, aware of secrets still gently awaiting discovery, as I surrendered softly, peacefully, allowing myself to drift down, into deep, untroubled sleep.